Bob, forgive me.
Deal or No Deal Island, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Well, it looks like coffee cups are going green. One startup coffee shop is now serving 3D printed coffee cups that are made of earth-friendly materials. Rich DeMuro tells us how it works in today's Tech Smart segment.
Get the bubbles out of there, that's the tamping.
Latte artist Jordan Fierros has a new canvas to work with. This earth-friendly 3D printed cup.
You pour straight in. This cup feels awesome.
Verve Coffee partnering with a startup named Nexstar to offer the sustainable cups.
We're always looking for new ways to push forward, look to the future, innovate, and find ways to be more helpful for the planet.
The small coffee chain, which has roots in California's laid-back beach town Santa Cruz, is offering the reusable cups for $2 at several locations.
Beautiful cup, fun for consumers to use, and something that replaces a huge problem we have, which is a single-use paper cup.
It almost feels like a little clay pot.
It is, yes.
Nexstar founder Sanjeev Mankodia got the idea in India, where they've been serving drinks in handmade terracotta cups for thousands of years.
Our mission is to eliminate single-use plastics.
The ingredients are simple: sand, water, and salt.
We make these rapidly using our proprietary 3D printing technology, with the North Star being that one day the machine can sit in a cafe like this or a restaurant and you can rapidly print a plate, a bowl, a cup of any size to go on demand.
That 3D printing process is closely guarded. It takes about 30 seconds to produce a cup.
Use it as many times as you want. You could wash it, rinse it out, reuse it. It's yours to keep. But if it breaks or you forget it, you can buy another one for a couple bucks.
The cups disintegrate when you're done with them.
I love the look of it because you almost feel like it's very earthy. It feels very natural.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I can reuse this cup once I'm done.
Yeah, that's the best part, I think.
Tennis drama Challengers topped the box office this weekend. The movie sold $15 million at the box office, and Challengers was originally to be released last fall, but it was pushed back because of the actors-writers strike. Now, Unsung Hero came in second, and Godzilla vs. Kong held on to the top 5, coming in at number 3, and Civil War, Jessica saw that one, fell to number 4, with the horror movie Abigail coming in at number 5 and bringing in $5.3 million in theaters. All right, and Taylor Swift's latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, hit number 1 on Billboard's Hot 200 chart. Her 11th album sold more than 2.6 million in physical copies and streaming downloads in its second week only. Swift is the only artist with 7 different albums, and each sold at least 1 million copies in a single week. But there are 2 other musical acts that still hold the record for the most albums sold. In 2015, Adele's album 25 sold 3.4 million in a single week, and in 2000, NSYNC sold 2.4 million copies in its first week as well. And get this, today is Jerry Seinfeld's 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Jerry. The comedian who starred in his own TV show for several years is currently touring and is going to be making his directorial debut in the mockumentary Unfrosted about the invention of Pop-Tarts. It premieres Friday on Netflix. Jessica, I know we were talking about that movie about the Pop-Tarts last week. I feel like we're both down to see this.
I would really like to see it, but I don't have Netflix, so I'm going to have to borrow somebody out there, share with me your username and password so I can check. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And use my parents' account. We can watch together.
Sounds perfect. That's great.
I know. It looks like it's inspirational because, follow your dreams, have an invention, an idea, come to fruition. Sounds like it's going to be a pretty cool.
And I just love Pop-Tarts. Even you can have some of the Pop-Tarts.
The unfrosted ones.
Yes. So even you can take part of this one.
We can eat Pop-Tarts while watching Pop-Tart movie information.
Now that I can definitely get behind. I love that.
That sounds amazing. Very cool. All right. Well, we hope that you guys are able to watch it as well. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
For now, good morning and thank you so much for joining us here on NBC 23. It is a little after 5:30. I'm Danielle Banda filling in for Jeremiah Marshall.
And I'm meteorologist Jessica Kirk.
Yeah, and it's a good morning, Jessica.
Well, I know you think it's good morning because it's very warm outside.
I do.
See what you're doing there.
Thank you very much. You caught on to me. Yeah, no, but it is a good morning. I hope that it's going to stay that way. I washed my car yesterday, actually.
Hey, we do have some rain chances coming up, unfortunately, so they're going to be hit or miss, but if you guys wash your car this weekend, all you can do for now is hope for the best, because we are going to be dodging some of those showers on and off for the next couple of days. But the good news is we don't have any really high rain chances, so hopefully you guys can stay in the clear. There's a live look at Far Bureau. Not seeing any visibility issues out there for the time being. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s. It is extremely warm outside. These are some of the highest temperatures I've seen for these early morning hours so far for the year 2024. So that is absolutely wild. Winds right now are coming from the south or from the southeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm not expecting this afternoon to be a really gusty one. We could see a handful of 25-mile-per-hour winds, but in reality, the winds are not going to be the biggest story heading into today. We could be seeing some patchy fog here and there. I just showed you on that far camera. I'm not seeing any major issues, but we could have some sort of a misty fog type situation. So if you come across an area with poor visibility, just slow down and make sure you're driving safely. Finally, we are back into that unhealthy for sensitive groups forecast for that air quality index today. So make sure if you have some issues with respiratory problems, allergies, it's going to be a good idea to not overexert yourself outside today. Stay tuned. I'll have some more details on that rain I mentioned coming up in a bit.
Thank you, Jessica. Well, people in Nebraska are picking up the pieces after a tornado went through the area. The twisters causing a building to collapse with dozens of people inside and destroying and damaging hundreds of homes. There have also been several injuries reported, but no deaths. Officials say fire crews have completed the search of damaged homes and structures, and one woman described what she heard as the tornado was passing.
You could hear the debris hitting our kitchen floor. We were under our kitchen and the pressure changed, your ears popped, and just an enormous amount of debris just was falling on the floor above us. This house was built in 1892 and it has stood for well over a century, and we refurbished it several times now, and I don't know where we go from here.
The National Weather Service is still evaluating the number of strength of the tornadoes. The process could take up to 2 weeks. And one of the Trump trials continues tomorrow regarding testimony over former President Trump's payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Last week, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker described how he says he helped to conceal potentially damaging stories about Trump during the 2016 election. The defense argued that the practice known as catch and kill was not unusual and that there were similar alleged arrangements with other celebrities, including Tiger Woods and Mark Wahlberg. And President Biden spoke by phone to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The White House says that the president continues to reaffirm his ironclad commitment to Israel's security, adding that Biden reiterated his, quote, clear position on a possible Israeli invasion of Rafah, but did not elaborate further on that part of the conversation. And during the discussion, President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu also reviewed ongoing talks to secure the release of hostages, together with an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, and discussed increases in the delivery of humanitarian aid into Gaza. All right, and this week, state lawmakers get to work talking about artificial intelligence. Our Will Dupree looks at what's on their agenda and what they already determined.
From helping students take a shortcut on their homework to helping people access state resources, the impact of artificial intelligence is everywhere, and not everyone is comfortable with it.
So I think it's just the pace at which all of these new capabilities are rolling out make everyone a little nervous.
With the next legislative session still months away, this week lawmakers get to work under the dome to talk about it. The Artificial Intelligence and Emerging Technologies Committee will meet Monday. Texas House Speaker Dave Phelan created that committee just this month. He'd like the 5 members to study the way AI is currently being used and its impact on society and consider if any legislative, policy, or other changes should be made to deal with it. This is not the first effort from the state to tackle the tech. In the last legislative session, a new law created an AI advisory council. Experts say it's important to get in front of the technology.
There's opportunities, but there's also risk. That's their task in terms of balancing those two and figuring out how to move forward.
More than a third of state agencies are now using artificial intelligence tools like this, according to a 2022 report.
It's like the Wild West on this right now. It's good to get organized early around this.
The Advisory Council and the committee do have one thing in common. Both are chaired by State Representative Giovanni Capriglione, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's interim charges also call for lawmakers to look at AI, making it more than likely to be a frequent topic of discussion when lawmakers return to the Capitol in January.
Well, you guys, heading out the door this morning, it's warm, it's muggy, you do not need a jacket. I could see a couple showers coming into the picture today, but I have us a less than a 10% chance. So the bigger factor today is just going to be how warm those temperatures are going to get this afternoon. I'm also expecting us to see clearing. Right now we have mostly cloudy skies, but by 9 to 10 a.m. it'll be partly cloudy, and I'm optimistic that this afternoon we'll be under mostly sunny skies. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to have details on your full forecast, which includes rain